Good morning. It's a beautiful day for a run. It's a little dark for the screen this morning. Yeah, it is what it is. Getting out early. Getting some work done. And the sun's sleeping a little lighter. So a tree fell across our bicycle path. Hope no one is under that. It's a big one. An oak. Here's the sunrise, not even up yet. Morning crickets. Well, it's a little dark today because I'm starting out pretty early and the sun's sleeping in a little bit, like I already said. But out getting it. So I shared a short last week reading a little article from Harvard Medical School about the 4 types of exercise everybody ought to be getting. It's funny because like 98% of Americans don't exercise at all, you know. So if you're doing anything, you're automatically putting yourself, if you're consistently getting out to do anything 3 times a week, you know, maybe getting your 150 minutes in, you know, you're already getting in more than most people. So I don't know if it's too much, you know, if this is the kind of article that pushes people to exercise too much and then quit, you know, because that's also a problem. But the 4 types of exercise they talked about were aerobic, strength, flexibility, and balance. So that means everybody should be doing jogging for aerobic exercise, lifting weights for strength, yoga for flexibility, and I don't know, flying trapeze for balance. I can't imagine that's what they mean. But I do a couple exercises in the morning, every morning, separate from my jogging or my lifting, that get some balance. Jump on a wobble board every morning, do some one leg balancing exercises, you know, and then I have done yoga in the past, and I don't know, but I feel ultimately any single exercise modality could be modified to get all 4 of those things, and that's probably more sustainable. I'm thinking about this as tomorrow I go back to school and I have far less time for taking care of my own fitness. You know, what am I going to get in? I'm going to aim for 3 runs a week, right? So 3 aerobic exercise and 1 or 2 lifting sessions a week. You know, but that's me and those are my choices. Question of the day, what are your choices? Obviously, some of you guys have already told me that you run, and that's it. Some of you told me you run and lift. Some have told me you run and you unicycle, you know, bicycle. Boy, I was sure hoping to get more cycling in this summer, and I did not. Instead, I wrote my 2nd book on music education. You know, that work needed to get done. So not much of a break for me. But still, but summer's coming to an end, ready to start a new teaching year. Excited to see the new 5th graders come into the middle school and meet my groups and see so many familiar faces, my beloved students and co-workers who I haven't seen all summer. So maybe a better way to look at it is what are running strengths in relation to those 4 exercise goals that Harvard scientists had laid out. Well, obviously aerobic is a big strength. You know, the first book on running, maybe in the 60s, was called Aerobics. That's definitely one of the earliest books. Kenneth Cooper's book that kicked off the marathoning revolution of the 1960s. But running also builds strength, and especially in the legs, calves, quads. They build up some muscle, and muscles are ultimately protective of your health, and especially if you do hill workouts or just live in a hilly place like State College, you get plenty of strength building. Balance. Every step of running is balancing on one foot, so you get a lot more balance exercise by running than if you don't. And maybe flexibility stretching is the least strong element of running. But of course, stretching was part of the running boom, even starting in the 60s, because shortly after Kenneth Cooper's book came out, the book of stretching came out in the 1960s, and all the runners were doing that as part of the practice. Yeah, so running might not be perfect form of aerobics and strength training and flexibility training and balance training, but it's better than nothing, that's for sure. And it does check all those boxes if you properly plan your training cycles and your practice of running for health. And there's not much else we can do when we have our busy jobs and those take up so much of our time. So get out there, do your best. Morning, squirrel. Squirrels are always loud. Get out your door.